Hello there and welcome to what looks likely to be a very exciting battle, and that's because I've already seen a little bit of it on stream yesterday, and these two players throw it out there with a little bit of non-meta, and it just ended up being a really good game to watch. So I'm going to cast it for you today on this Saturday morning, the 11th of July 2020. It is indeed Elpern, the best newcomer to the tournament scene as of the last tournament. He really had a fantastic run, knocking out several players that people wouldn't have expected him to. He ended up in the final 8 of the tournament. He is up against a former world champion. It is indeed Aimstrong, winner of the first World Championship event for Company of Heroes 2 way back in 2013, and of course many other Company of Heroes 1 accolades from back in the day. Aimstrong is playing as the Brits. His commander choices for you today are Royal Engineer, Royal Artillery, and Commando regiments. And we do have our first choice from Elpern. He has gone for Overwatch Doctrine, giving, of course, those Jaegers, maybe a little bit of early warning flares, possibly even a Goliath, and several other artillery-based options for him, both off-map and on-map, and, of course, for the Fatherland, which you don't see enough of, quite frankly. The infantry sections are currently trying to establish themselves on the eastern fuel. Meanwhile, the Stern Pioneers are going to go for the western fuel. Now, one of the reasons you will note that crossing in the woods isn't seen as much in tournament play anymore is because, to be honest, it's a little bit boring at times, and it actually means that a lot of the players go for a very defensive kind of prepared position tactics, and it kind of drags the game out unnecessarily. This river becomes, well, it's more of a riverbed, I suppose. The riverbed becomes more of a battle line that's just drawn, and it becomes this long drawn out indirect fire-based battle, but I can absolutely promise you, you're not going to be seeing any of that today. So the 3 Folks Grenadiers and the Stern Pioneers of Elpern, possibly to be joined by GLIs in what could be a very infantry-dominated build. Now, you will notice today, by the way, that the quality of this footage should be the best I've ever delivered. I've made several hardware upgrades. We've gone to 32GB of DDR4 very fast megahertz RAM. We've also downgraded the monitor to 1080p, so my graphics card is completely utilised for every pixel you're seeing on your screen right now. Double Folks Grenadiers team up against the infantry section. They do lose 2 Soldaten now. They're against 1 window here, so they're actually experiencing very little DPS, and they're focus firing him, which is not a good engagement for Aimstrong. Meanwhile, however, Aimstrong's got a very favourable engagement here. I don't know what Elpern's thinking, and of course he is forced away. That could have actually gone worse for him. There we go, the infantry section is now also running back to base. Meanwhile, in the centre, the IS there was able to keep the Folks Grenadiers guessing and out of position. Early platoon command, well, early, it is just a platoon command post after 3 additional infantry sections, isn't it? It isn't exactly anything too remarkable, but I can promise you that we do see a little bit of non-meta today, so it should be a very interesting game for those of you that are a little bit battle-weary after so much Man-Libner Zweimal action, that big double elimination tournament we had a couple of weekends ago, that, to be honest, it was very stagnant in the meta. A lot of Osttruppen versus US, kind of standard vanilla US builds, a little bit of mechanized thrown in. But it was a fantastic tournament as a competitive spectacle. It's just the meta wasn't exactly what you'd expect. And now here we go. We're seeing a little bit of not exactly what you expect with a sniper as the next unit out for Aimstrong. Of course, this Vico legend from the SNF days, and of course winning their very first ever big money invitational tournament, Sandlands Invitational, back in 2010. For $1,000 he won. That was the very first big money tournament we ever had in the community. Jaegers are asking you to listen up because they're sexy. They're pretty damn sexy. You should listen to them. Although, to be honest, the running animation makes it look like they're skating, doesn't it, a little bit? So let's not zoom in too much as we see an engagement erupts in the north as Folks Grenadiers have gone in, but the sniper's now opened up with his very first kill, looking to get another, but they're just outside the range. Meanwhile, however, we've got 2 Tommy sections getting into position to cause this Folks Grenadier imminent death. That's got to be death, surely. However, there's a little bit of light cover there from the crater, which I think shepherded him back to base. And Stern Pioneers come in and turn the engagement against the infantry section. So Aimstrong was unlucky there, but he had the right presence of mind to organise the attempt expected wipe on retreat. Meanwhile, the sniper's opened up with his third kill. There you go, against a JLI. So you're not going to be seeing that manpower anytime soon again. And could be seeing an early wipe here. Elpern's forced away. However, the Stern Pioneers are pushing in. He's looking for a wipe. Sturmgewehrs nearly get it. And the sniper's forced away. I'm not so sure Aimstrong needed to go back to base there, but better safe than sorry. Stern Pioneers are going to advance. He's also going to be experiencing the wrath of the officer coming out. That is indeed the assault officer for 320 manpower. Has a lot of abilities. And I tell you, is this neutralization worth it? It's 34 manpower per model lost. The sniper's just going to be having a field day. However, no, he misses his follow-up shot, so he only got the one kill. So I suppose a quick little neutralization there, not a bad option. Very infantry-based build from the Swede so far. Of course, 3 Foot Grenadiers into JLI, but Aimstrong's answering in turn. And that is one of the reasons I'm casting this battle for you today, is because I know it's going to be a mobile and aggressive celebration of all things great in Company of Heroes. You're going to have to build faster, because that sniper's got you in his sights. And he's going to be spotting very soon that you're there. There you go. Ouch. Another JLI out, so you can see the idea from Elpern here. He's going to be looking for a flank. Horse Crossing in the Woods does have the woods you can cross. And he's going to be looking for a flank to try and wipe the sniper on retreat, most likely. Or just catch it off guard. I mean, there are several sight-blocking tree lines, aren't there? Look how smooth this footage is for you today. It looks like you're here live and personal and watching it together on the same monitor, hopefully. That should be what we're going for. Foch Grenadiers backpedal. This one is forced away also. Sniper misses his shot. Meanwhile, in the east, JLIs with their G43s, causing issues for that infantry section. He's going to have to be careful. Indeed, he's forced away. That's not really heavy cover either, so it's not really working for them. More Foch Grenadiers forced off, and this is just great. It's mapped control now for Aimstrong. Double fuel soon. Sniper's got 6 kills. JLI, the second build. No, that's the first build. So if Aimstrong was counting the kills, which you won't be, so he doesn't know that there's 2 quite yet. Foch Grenadiers. Sorry, the infantry section, of course, have upgraded to their medical supplies, allowing them to heal. Kind of out of combat there, but certainly behind enemy lines. Well, they've drawn a new line, and it's very favourable to Aimstrong. A huge R across the map. As you see, there you go. There's the ambush. Kills one of the Brits and forces them back to base in total. And we're now seeing that Elpern has possibly realised what he's up against here. Coming up against, you know, a top tournament legend playing on not a Smurf account, but with a Smurf name, like a fake name kind of thing. Sometimes you don't know what to expect. Are they going to be rusty? I don't even know if Elpern knew he was up against Aimstrong here. Nice mine there. By the way, oh, what a grenade there! That was a huge, I think, 5 kills there from the assault officer. We've also got this infantry section squad on retreat, and just look at the mass retreat from Elpern. Air landing officer with that huge light gammon bomb. 35 munitions, very, very well spent. I think we got 5 muni per kill there. Fantastic trade. And fortunately for Elpern, he has of course gone for the battle group headquarters upgrade to get those field medics, and that's because he's gone for a heavy infantry presence. Now, because he knows he's up against this mass infantry force of the Brits, Elpern is going to blob the shit out of him. He's going to uncover the fact the Royal Engineers are trying to lay a sneaky mine, and he's just going to go in for it. There is 1 squad missing, I've just noted on the TAC map, however. If you notice a little dot of blue in the north, keep an eye on that. Nice, well, not a nice grenade, a terrible grenade. What was he thinking? He overextended there with the assault officer, threw a grenade in for no reason, and he got bitten for it. Meanwhile, the sniper and the Tommy section are retreating away. Let's check on the blue blob. Oh, there it is. It was a Stern Pioneer. Has gone all the way around the rear side and is now catching the sniper out on retreat. Fantastic work from Elpern there. In the mayhem and the chaos, he was able to take a Stern Pioneer all the way around this tree line and get the sniper wipe on retreat. So fantastic work there. Mine goes off and kills 2 infantry section soldiers there. As we see another mine here from Aimstrong, probably going to cause some damage. Meanwhile, tactical battle group from Aimstrong tries to force away the French grenadiers before the neutralisation. They can't quite do it. We've got our first tank, by the way. That is a very fast, well, it's a reasonably fast Cromwell. It's going to be safe from this mine. A reasonably fast Cromwell, and I tell you what, although Elpern's just killed the sniper, this Cromwell's going to make up for it. It's going to have a lot of anti-infantry capabilities, and it's going to require a lot less babysitting. Here he is. Nice North Africa-based camo. Of course, trying to visualise the sand and the sky. Stun grenade easily dodged there. Stern Pioneers now in peril. However, they look out against the infantry section. They don't drop a model, but the Tommies do. As the Cromwell looking for a good shot and retreat here. Gets it. Coaxial machine gunner causing issues as well. Pitter-patter of bullets against the waterline, and then a huge follow-up shot. Aimstrong is going to rush in here, it seems. Does Elpern have anything to protect him? Not right now, but he does have a Rakettenwerfer in the build. Oh, follow-up shot from the Cromwell. Is he going to try and finish the job? No, he turns his attention instead on the Schwerpanzer headquarters. Now, we've got a lot of work to do there. That's going to be about 9 shots in total. There's the second. A lot more damage done this time. He's fancying himself, but the Rakettenwerfer is now on the field, so he's going to have to reverse away very soon indeed. He does not want to get cocky in this situation. Surely his game sense would be telling him that there will be an answer out from Elpern, but maybe his timing just is not there. Here we go. They've got the Faust Raketten combo. Faust Raketten. However, the Raketten does not hit. Good timing from Elpern, but he did not get the look he needed. Now, the Cromwell's just sitting there trying to wipe the JLIs, but there's a lot of heavy cover in the way. There's a little bit of rust as well. He never actually got the munitions back from that M6 mine. That's going to trigger a lot of you, isn't it? Rakettenwerfer with a huge second shot. And a third one connects. French Grenadiers are spotting for them now. Let's pan down a little bit and see what he can see. Rakettenwerfer in tow. Looking to get the follow-up. Is he going to attack ground, perhaps? Oh, the mine gets it! Of course the mine gets it! There was always the mine waiting. Rakettenwerfer was not needed. And here's that glider insertion. Where's it going to land? Meanwhile, he's harvested the corpse of the Cromwell for extra fuel. The commandos are rooting for vengeance. Get straight into the battle, but a nice incendiary grenade thwarts them in their tracks. Meanwhile, on the west side, we've got infantry section holding the fuel. Very important because he needs to keep his advantage. And don't forget, by the way, he's had such strong map control thus far that it is an advantage he's still got. Despite Panzer authorization surely now in. Indeed it is, of course. So he's going to be waiting most likely for the Panzer 4, you would assume. 140 fuel, so he's quite far away. What am I on about? Yeah, that's right, yeah. And we've got Aimstrong. Possibly thinking of another Cromwell, I would assume. Something like that. But then he'll think he's behind. Maybe he's going to go for something sexier like the Comet. I have seen him go Comet a lot of times in his games. We do have the potential for a wipe on retreat here, so keep an eye on that. One out there with a one-man infantry. Oh, juicy retreat from Elpern. That's a very favourable algorithm, isn't it? Takes him outside the scope of the Sten guns. A little bit lucky there on that one, all calculated, depending on how you want to look at it. Got a lot of kills on the Stern Pioneers, 6 in total. Just realised, by the way, one of my, I don't know if I told you at the start of the cast, but one of the advancements I've made is I've got a 1080p monitor. I used to have 1440. No, 1440. I don't know how to say that. That many pixels anyway. Stun grenade. Don't know what it achieves. Stern Pioneers are able to retreat though without being shot at, so I suppose it does achieve something. But the reason, one of my scripts used to be that it jumps to the little button here that says how many kills. And unfortunately, it doesn't do it anymore because it goes to pixels that don't exist. What was that I was just hearing? What's the Rakettenwerfer up to? Oh, he's destroying the cover of the Tommies. There you go. That's nice. Meanwhile, we've got the commandos lying in wait. Oh, they're now uncovered. They just got uncovered. And then they vault. So they're caught off guard a little bit. And they're trying to get back in cover. But Aimstrong's had a bit of a micro mistake there. We've got infantry sections joining the fray. First Grenadiers are posturing for position. No sign of any further army yet. Elpern's still a little bit off as well. Commandos have been pretty useless so far. Only the one kill. Massed First Grenadiers. As we have the Obersoldaten. They'll do a lot more DPS than you expect, you know. Especially when the infantry section accidentally vaults him. There's a lot of DPS on his retreat path. And a fatality on the first major squad fatalities of the battle. And these guys, what is Aimstrong thinking? He must be preoccupied elsewhere because he's left these guys as absolute bait for the slaughter. Commandos are having to reposition. Just keep an eye on the battle over here. JLIs versus that. There you go. He's trying to time it with an assault, but I'm not so sure that's going to help that much. 70 munitions, and infantry section bites the dust. The commandos now have to survive. They're going to jump from cover to cover, it would seem. There you go. The hunting party is out, but just like Steve McQueen in The Great Escape, it looks like they're going to do just that. They're going all the way around the outside there, and they make their escape. Meanwhile, Elpern's still looking for them. He's got guys all over the place. Alarm! Alarm! As they would say in Commandos. Rakettenwerfer forced away. Oh, he gammons himself. He's just not had the feel for this map so far with the retreats, it would seem. I mean, let's have a little check on the stats. And you can see that he does have a superior KD, however. We'll have a little look at army values. You can show that Aimstrong has taken a dive. And on points held, they're roughly equal. Oh, and this infantry, he can't hold out for much longer. He's just buying time with manpower here. Could get squad wiped again. Oh dear, oh dear. Is able to escape, however. Trees to the rescue, it would seem. 6-pounders taking some punishment. But there's the bunker from Aimstrong saving the day. We do have Phosphorus now on retreat.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
It's not going to do much. None of those shells hit. And he should be absolutely fine. And there we go. We now have the Panzer IV from Elpern coming out. And meanwhile, Aimstrong has teched for hammer specialization. So that will, of course, mean he's going for the Comet tank. It also mean he possibly could launch some actual gammon bombs and not just the light variety. Commandos versus Stern Pioneers are actually losing at the moment. There they go. The Stern Pioneers get out of there without losing a single Pioneer. And nice attack round there from the Panzer IV, timing it to attack the juicier, more expensive squad. Well played from Elpern. You can always tell that's the case if the tank attacks a squad that's further back. On the east side, JLI's ambush, but a nice quick retreat from Aimstrong. Seems like he's woken up a little bit now after some dodgy mechanical errors. How far is he off the Comet? Let's have a little look. Comet, of course, is 175 fuel, 480 manpower. Oh, he's a little bit off yet, but it will hard counter the Panzer IV if not in the loving embrace of the Rakettenwerfer. What the hell? Elpern is building an LEFH, everybody. That is unexpected, to say the least, considering Aimstrong only has one support weapon and it's the 6-pounder. What is he going to do? Just like try and hammer him into base and deny area? Possibly just like focus on an area such as this and stop Aimstrong traversing the battlefield? I mean, it'll help. I'm not sure it's going to have the killing potential one would expect. Stern Pioneers are 50% of the way to completing it. Modified M6 mines there, by the way, of the Brits, as those said. Dastardly Devils are now capping up the west of the map.
Our capture point. They're trying to take
I always call them stuff like Dastardly and stuff in Company Heroes because they've always had a bit of infamy as the possibly more poisonous faction, especially in Company Heroes 1 with stuff like the Kangaroo Carrier and the Staghounds, etc. Basically all the Tales of Valor units, weren't they? And there he is, the glorious LEFH is going to be ready to fire very shortly. German territory is beginning to increase. Aimstrong, however, of course, is capping that western fuel point. He does have reserves in position to protect against any attack from Elpern with a counter-attack of his own. GLIs have pushed up. These guys have 10 kills, and there you go. There's that 175 fuel well spent. Comet's on its way. There's the LFH, by the way. 6-pounder's going to be in a bit of peril. Might have to retreat through the pain and punishment. As we saw a gammon bomb from the commandos not do much at all, and the JLIs have a good position. Now they've got to retreat through these shells. Will Aimstrong be lucky? Yes, he will. The glider takes a shell, but none of the infantry did, and that's the important thing from the Danes' perspective in this all Scandinavian. Oh, they counted as Scandinavian, the Danes? Somebody answer me in chat, please. I know obviously Scandinavia is usually... Or is it just the Nordic? Are they Nordic? Is that right? I think they're Nordic, aren't they? But they're not Scandinavian. Correct me if I'm wrong. LEFH has a sum total of 0 kills thus far. 0 kills. We do have the MG34 upgraded for the Obersoldaten on a depressingly low 5 kills. Mines, there you go. Double mines, possibly. Oh, just the one, actually. Did a lot of work, though. Of course, ever a penalty to blobbing. Huh? What the hell? Everything missed. Oh, he's got a minesweeper. Ah, of course. There you go. His minesweeper's just been attacked by the Comet with his first kill. Rakettenwerfer's in position to cause the Comet some pain, however. Comet rolls over his own mine. Is looking to go straight into things here. Rakettenwerfer's forced away, and he knows the Rakettenwerfer's going to be out of commission whilst it retreats. May even be able to finish the job on it here. Oh, yes, he is. There you go. He's got an early 5 kills now. He's going to finish off the weapon. Boom. Shame the LFH can't be put on anti-tank duty. That'd be cool, that wouldn't it? Just fire a huge artillery shell at a tank. As Rakettenwerfer is destroyed by the Comet's first action. Commandos lie in wait as the Royal Engineers look to repair that small amount of damage. I mean, I wonder what Elpern's going to be thinking from here. It's a great map, by the way, for blobbing, apparently. It's a great map for Jagdpanzers, because, or any tank destroyers, really. Fireflies, even, because it's got those long lines of sight, and you can protect yourself over the riverbed, so could be seen a Firefly, could be seen a Jagdpanzer in this game, perhaps. Or does he need it? Now he's got a Comet and a 6-pounder. I'm not sure Aimstrong would need a Firefly. Another infantry section joining the fray. What he certainly thinks he needs is more pushing power from that infantry. Look at that. They seem to just absolutely dissipate before our very eyes. This Comet's getting a little bit cocky for my liking, though. Maybe overextending. LEFH on this position here. There's a mine as well. It could hit. Royal Engineers are manoeuvring away. Very brave of them indeed. 6-pounder and Comet both find the Panzer IV. Causing it real problems. It reverses into the LEFH, but is not blocked by it. And now the Comet's going to have to... Oh, he gets the kill, but it gets abandoned. That 1 in 20 chance. Indeed. And the Comet has now got a damaged engine. There's no other anti-tank, though. Just saw a crew grenade from the Comet. Ha! What a stupid ability that is. Royal Engineers, well, we've just seen 2 stupid abilities in a row, but he does get the kill on the LEFH with the 6-pounder. Fantastic work there. So he didn't get the kill on the Panzer IV, but he did kill the LEFH, so I think that's all in all not bad. And don't forget, he's got a lot of veterancy coming in. He's halfway to veterancy 2 with 12 kills and 1 vehicle destroy now. It's just a shame that the vehicle he destroyed is going to be resurrected very shortly. Well, if you're looking at it from Aimstrong's perspective, from Elpern, he's had a lot of good luck so far. I don't think that's
Enemy threatening a capture point.
I don't think that's wrong to say. 7 kill Vet 4 Grenadiers lead the assault as the infantry section's caught off guard. Will we see some Kimbo pushing here? Looks like he may have attempted it. That's the drag selecting to halt the retreat of your opponent a little bit or slow them down. Indeed, we do see a Jagdpanzer. What interesting camouflage. I decided to take off historical skins only, and I don't know if that was a good decision or a bad, because we've now got very blue-looking Jagdpanzers. I mean, a little comment in chat if you're a long-time viewer. Tell me what you prefer. You want to see vanilla-looking skins in place of these zany, non-historical skins? Nice shoe line there on the apex of any base assault from the east. Or would you rather see the more flavoursome, characterful, zany skins that we're seeing in this case? Jagdpanzer and Panzer IV are pushing from the east side. Meanwhile, we've got an engagement in the west here as Obersoldaten and Tommy's with an assault in here. Got in a lot of health damage, and Commandos on retreat as well. That's certainly a dead Obersoldaten. And an MG34 on Commandos, perhaps? Yes, he thought about it on the Tommies, then he changed his mind. Very good indeed. That is now your Terminator squad.
Enemy infantry shooting at us. Me.
And enemy dares shoot at the Comet, but this could be a trap, and indeed it possibly is. The Jagdpanzer trying to find a retreat path. We've got the Panzer IV meeting him head-on in combat. Jagdpanzer does get a cheeky shot in, I think, there? Maybe that was the Panzer IV, can't be quite sure. Meanwhile, Comet's, he's just completely circumvented the threat, it would seem. And even the Faust threat. 6-pounders also now set up. But here it is, Sector Assault. That one click is now going to be active for 70 seconds further. And the Panzers join the fray. This is going to be a big battle. We've got to keep in mind that mine that did not detonate earlier could come to Aimstrong's saving grace. We've got congealed forces here, but the Panzer IV doesn't mind. It's going to launch themselves at the Comet. The 6-pounders got a huge shot off on the Jagdpanzer. However, everything misses the second volley. Panzer IV does hit the mine on the western base entrance of Aimstrong. The 6-pounder has been decrewed. Jagdpanzer's tagging in, but misses. We've got now an enemy crewed 6-pounder, got a full suppressed Aimstrong cohort. Jagdpanzer is launching itself at the Comet, but it's a huge shot from that late war British main battle tank, I want to call it. But there it is, that disgusting main gun destroy critical. As the Blob is actually still battling here. The stun grenade's going to keep them from doing any sort of DPS. 6-pounder could find a kill here on the Panzer IV, however. And we just saw the Stern Pioneers did indeed die. He's having to rebuild them as the Panzer IV dies too. So this, from Aimstrong, was actually turned out to be an inspired hold. He ends up with 2 squad wipes possibly. There you go, 2 squad wipes out of nowhere just for holding and holding his nerve against the odds, as a lot of players would have mass retreated when suppressed there. But he held, stayed prone on his belly with all of his squads, and actually ended up with the victory. I will prove that to you in a second. He's also now decrewed the 6-pounder. That could be a game-winning hold from Aimstrong. I'm not going to call it a push, but he certainly just stayed in there, and it worked wonders.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Of course, the assault being active, giving them, I think, better rate of fire. Doesn't want to lose those commandos. They're a Terminator squad with that LMG, but now might lose an infantry set, so I think he got a little bit too cocky there, perhaps. But First Grenadier could die in turn. In fact, the First Grenadier would die, but do the infantry section? Yes, they do. So a trade there from Elpern. But he can't be affording to trade 1-for-1 at the moment, because if you look at his overall army size and output capability, it's not very... There we go. Another squad wipe. To interrupt myself there. JLI saving the day yet again. 6-pounder is going to get decrewed, but should be fine. So let's have a little look at the stats yet again and see this army value graph as you can see that Elpern and Aimstrong have actually both dropped considerably at a similar time. So, but you've got to consider, guys, that double mine there. Sorry, my bad. It's pretty painful. There we go. Now I'm toggling with all of my UI elements, trying to get things back on track. And there we go. Jagdpanzer 4, the second, is on the field. Cut off from the Vet 3 Volksgrenadiers. LMG commandos punish them on their way back. Another mine from Aimstrong is going to continuously punish Elpern. More insult to injury on retreat. These guys could murder a pint as they're on capture duty, and that is just one of the hallmarks of a top-level tournament player. And I know Elpern is making strides in that arena, but Aimstrong's been there and won 2 World Championship caliber events. And
they're trying to take it.
And yeah, he's showing superior map control in the face of adversity, and that's the kind of thing that gets you there. Another Comet in the build for Aimstrong versus this Jagdpanzer, and 2 Panzerfaust platforms. I would predict that, to be honest, he's going to have to start using the Stern Pioneer to plant mines if he wants to defend against the Comet in any way, shape or form. But saying that, look how much fuel he has. The Jagdpanzer's just getting attacked by the 6-pounder. It has killed the sandbag, but that's all it's done. Meanwhile, another MG34 for the Obersoldaten. Let's check out other engagements in the centre. We've got the Terminators being forced away by this hard contingent from Elpern. 6-pounder could be decrewed. There's another one as well. And the Comet's now out, so if he goes for the weapon take there, it might not end up fruitful. Indeed, he loses an Obersoldaten member, so can't do it anyway. Commando's just chilling, possibly looking for a cheeky light cannon bomb here. Here it comes! Has Elpern seen it? No, he in fact hard retreats into it and loses a lot of collateral there. And here's that second Comet, with, of course, the tank commanders popping out of the parapet. Or the cupola. Certainly isn't a parapet, that's more of a trench. Or how you look over a trench, a cupola. Which has a very controversial pronunciation. Nobody's quite sure how to pronounce it. Lindy Beige said cupola, so that's what I'm going to go with. He did his research. Although he has been wrong on a lot of things in the past, especially when it comes to British like tanks and infantry. He's a very patriotic fellow, if you know of that YouTube channel. Panzer IV about to emerge, so he's now back with these kind of similar battle options, but you notice his manpower is now not as strong as it once was. He's lost a couple of squads and he's not replenished his stocks quite yet. But that's very late war Germany for you. Panzer IV is trying to bait him into that mine. You see that? He just pokes himself out, makes the Comet know he is there, and the Comet smells a fish and reverses away to safety. Meanwhile, infantry sections taking the cut off. Panzer IV takes the call and answers the question with absolutely no DPS, it would seem. In fact, the Comet is the first to get any sort of he might actually get the full cut-off take here. No, he wisely retreated away in the face of this, which, as you can appreciate, is a lot of DPS. We've got Sturmgewehrs, G43s and MG34 all upgraded for those three Nazi baddies. Jagdpanzer's done diddly squat so far. Panzer IV also. Elpern needs to start getting wins because Aimstrong is looking quite dominant in his overall map control. 3 victory points have been taken. And Elpern's got the lower count, so that's not going to be too good for him. 6-pounder. Throws a shot sideways at the Panzer there. Follow-up isn't quite there. We do have the Comet rolling into view. That's a good shot off on the Jagdpanzer. Now turns his attention on the Panzer IV. 6-pounders looking for shots. Also, the Panzer IV's been destroyed. Well targeted by Aimstrong. Jagdpanzer's now an island of resistance. Could it all just be hopeless? However, we've got smoke on retreat from the commandos. 6-pounder is being pushed with all their might to get a good shot off, and there it is. However, it does miss. Comet's now feeling the pressure of a possible Panzerfaust, which doesn't come in. All the infantry's forced away thanks to that huge high explosive round. GG from Elpern is called in as he sees the writing on the wall. And can you blame him? Aimstrong looking all powerful there. And I do believe that we saw a squad wipe somewhere else, possibly here, whilst all that was going on in the west. So I think Elpern saw the writing on the wall. He wasn't able to keep full control of his army. And I just believe that Aimstrong, I think he held firm. This battle here, where he had all those suppressed squads, and he held firm against Elpern, that was the winning engagement. And while yes, he may have lost a couple of squads afterward, I think in that confusion he was able to kill more collateral in terms of armour. And I mean, you can just see on the army value graph, this was the engagement here. Elpern was ahead. Aimstrong actually, took him lower, but don't forget that OKW, due to the base defences, starts a certain amount of army value ahead. So at that point, he'd drawn level, really, or close to. So yeah, there's the tale of the battle. Just leave you with a nice cinematic view, shall we? And a sync error detected. Don't worry, there's no shenanigans. It is literally just, it actually just happens sometimes. And yeah, it was a good battle. We do have announcements over the next Master League tournament coming very soon, indeed. So look forward to that. I'll just quickly show you some of the stats. I'm probably going to be releasing that next weekend, the announcements for the next tournament. And you also have a tournament montage from Tightrope coming out this week. That's going to be pretty exciting. There's the KD confirmed. That, of course, Aimstrong was not that far ahead, to be fair. Here's OKW. It is quite punishing. There's the squads built and lost range. So he lost 4 infantry sections. He had his 6-pounders decrewed. And of every vehicle he built, he lost at least 1. Let's reverse it over to Elpern. See that losing 2 Obersoldaten is extremely punishing. Jaegers, he lost 1 off, but he had good efficiency with them. First Grenadiers 1, great efficiency there, meaning, of course, they are his most valuable unit. But the Meat Shield Panzer IV, building 3 of them and losing 3 of them, that's not what you want. Anyway, chaps, I hope you, and possible ladies, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I hope you enjoyed this YouTube cast, and I have much more to say to you other than that. Peace out.